Hi y'all, it's Leah here with Southern Country Comforts. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing our fall home tour and I have my helper here, Ruby. And so let's get started. So we're going to start outside. And we're going to share the fountain. This was my Mother's Day present this past year. And I absolutely love it. And these are the little roses I planted, and they have absolutely just come right along. They were off the clearance shelf at Lowe's, and they have just grown tremendously and done well. We just added a couple pumpkins and a gourd there from Brother Daryl, who grew them. He's from our church. He's our Sunday school teacher. He shared those with me. And the pumpkins came from Walmart and from Kings River Country Store, which is in Marble, Arkansas. We are enjoying the last remnants of the flowers for this year. Before long, they will be no more. It's starting to get cooler and cooler during the night, so before long they will not be anymore. The cannas that you see there, they were in a little pot. It was off of a clearance shelf as well, and it was just one little tiny plant. Actually, it wasn't one little tiny plant, it was just in with one little pot, but there was a couple different plants to it, and I split that up, and they have just multiplied and gotten ginormous. The mums here I purchased at Walmart this year, and Ruby's going to show you the pumpkins there.
We're going to carve these
Yes,
on Halloween night.
That's right. She's going to carve one for Halloween.
Yeah, this is Gracie's, and up there is probably mine.
Yes. And so I have some yellow mums. I like to try to get the ones that have not opened up yet when possible. That way they have much longer lifespan.
And we have this pumpkin that we're not going to carve.
No. And I like
It's just for decoration.
Yes, I like the different pumpkins.
And these are still mums.
Yes, those are
And
some
these
white
are
mums.
more mums. And we got these at the
Dollar General.
Dollar General. Both of these, this one and that one.
And the
have,
sign came from Dollar General.
Yeah, this comes from Dollar General, and all these pumpkins come from Mommy's.
And some of those have been from Hobby Lobby over the years. The real ones, again,
and we
mostly
got
from
this
Walmart.
weird one that I don't know what it is.
And then let's see, that gourd there is one that I had gotten from Lane's Aunt Annie, and I scrubbed it down and stained it last year. And I have another one of those inside as well. This sign here came from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. This sign is from Hobby Lobby this year. I looked at it for a couple years and really liked it, so I finally bought it this year and just had some old fall garland that I stuck on top of that. And Ruby's going to show you the scarecrows there.
So they have, this one is a boy, this one is a girl, this one has a leaf and a flower, this one has a leaf and a flower too, and these is a pumpkin.
Call it a pumpkin, yeah, and they both came from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, they both came.
And this throw here that you see behind it is actually not a throw. It's just a table runner from Hobby Lobby, but it's much cheaper than buying a blanket, so I just bought that and put on there. in place of putting a blanket there. This truck, I'm not sure if it came from Hobby Lobby or where I purchased that several years ago. We just put some pumpkins in the back of that. Just some fall greenery in there. This pew is an old church pew from our church. We had purchased new church pews, and I did get to get a couple of those, and I just sanded it down and painted it and distressed it. So that's very sentimental to me, and I just love that here on the porch. And I just have a couple rugs here that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. Of course, everything that I purchased for Hobby Lobby or from Hobby Lobby is, of course, half price. This pumpkin, I believe a friend had cut out for me last year, Bobby Joe, and I just painted that black. It's wooden pumpkin, and this little sign here came from Hobby Lobby, and I just glued that on there and got some ribbon from the Dollar General and made a ribbon there to put on top of that. This plant here I purchased from our local 4-H this spring, and it has done really well. So I just added that to the front porch. I'd repainted some lanterns I had this past spring.
And we added a pumpkin.
That's right.
And we got these pillows from somewhere.
I've had those for quite a while, yeah. And this sign here came from Hobby Lobby. Again, half price. This garland I've had for a couple years. I've used it during Christmas, just different times, and so it fit right in with this fall decor. I think those were thrifted.
And we have these pumpkin, and we had this for a little while.
Yeah, a couple years. That came from the Dollar General, I believe.
Yeah, it comes from the This, Mommy almost bought. I think she bought it last night.
Not last night, but it is new for this year, yeah. And I believe it came from Hobby Lobby.
We had this pillow for a couple years.
That's right. So let's give them one more look at the porch here.
And we have these red flowers.
Yeah, those bums.
Welcome to our house.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna start right here.
So this is our wreath.
We do have a wreath on the inside of our front door, which is not very common. But I did do that last year as well, and I really like how that turned out. So I've done that again this year, and I enjoy having that there. I have a fall pillow here I'd gotten at a thrift store a couple years back. Here, if you've seen any of my home tours, you've seen this blanket ladder before, and I just really like that. I got that a couple years ago at a craft fair in Huntsville, and I really like decorating that. This picture here I had gotten at the recycling center for just $1 or $2, and I really like it and the fall vibes that it brings. And I've just put some fall garland on there and a fall wreath. Some colorful blankets there.
We have some apples.
And some
Plastic.
apples.
And they're plastic.
Yes, and they're plastic.
And we have this blanket that we have.
And a sign here that says Harvest Blessings. So kind of the vibe I was wanting to give here was kind of an apple picking ladder with the lantern, and then the apple basket with the apples there. So we'll come over here to the mantle. And this is my absolute most favorite place to decorate for any season. And if you saw my fall tour last year, you'll recognize the print there that I thrifted. I used it again this year. I just really love the colors. I used the same thrifted candle holders there. I changed out the candles. I brought in the reds, more of the reds this year, which I really like. The stems came from Hobby Lobby, and I just worked those in, added in my dollar store velvet pumpkins and my battery powered lights in with the garland. And I really like the mood that sets, but I just love that picture. And I think it's perfect for fall. Down here to the left of the fireplace, I have a couple thrifted jugs here, just in a crate. And one of the antlers, the guys had found a couple pumpkins. I love the fall scented candles. This one, I believe, is Sweetie Pie. And it smells delicious, by the way. And then to the right of the fireplace, I'd gotten inspiration off of Pinterest for this with my Crocs there and the pumpkins. And I just used some pit berries and some greenery and added in some things that I had on hand and a sign that I'd had on hand. I believe that came from the Dollar General last year, but I really like how that turned out. But the fireplace is definitely my favorite place to decorate for fall, and like I said, for any season. And so now Ruby's going to take us to the coffee table.
Yeah. So Mommy got this a long time ago. I don't know where, but she got it. And we have these pumpkins, and we have deer antlers. And
Lots of deer antlers, and we just put some picks in there.
Yeah.
Most of them came from Hobby Lobby.
And we have this pumpkin thing here, and it's ready put
Runner, And so we used the picks that had the pumpkins on them and just stuck them down inside the
and we have
antlers.
These little leaves in here, and we have these great things.
And the antlers, as you can tell, our home is quite rustic, so it fits in quite well with our decor. And so we'll come over to our entryway. And this sign I've had for a couple years now. And I believe it was from Canvas on Demand. And the lanterns I had thrifted at some time, as well as the basket, and I just stuck some fall greenery down inside there. This little fall sign came from the Dollar General this year. I thought it was really cute. This, I believe, came from Hobby Lobby last year. Yes. Just stuck that up there. The picture is from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago, as well as the stems, I believe. The pillow covers are a set I had gotten from Amazon either last year or the year before. I believe there was a set of 4. And you'll see a couple of those throughout the house. The bench is from Hobby Lobby probably 10 or so years ago. And I believe they still had one, something like that, at least a couple of years ago. I saw something. And then the sign here is from Hobby Lobby, I believe, along with some pumpkins. Then we'll switch over to the table.
Yeah, and we have this red candle that Mommy cut here, and we have these sunflowers, and these candles, and we have a light bulb, and this mirror that we didn't put up, and we have it for a long, long time.
Okay.
And we have that up there.
Good. And so we just put some berries on top of the mirror.
And we have this side.
And the little pumpkin, wire pumpkin, is thrifted, I believe, at a garage sale. And I just repainted that and put some stems down inside. Has some thrifted lamps on each side. And some candle holders that came from a thrift store as well. And then just had an old, it's actually new made. A lady had made this from reclaimed lumber. And I'd purchased it. And just stuck some pumpkins and some greenery and some lights down inside of it. And here I have a thrifted pitcher. And then I believe the books came from the dollar store. And just set it on a little riser. And set a little pumpkin on top there. And then that sign was from the Dollar Tree last year, I believe. So now we're going to just take a brief overview of the living room. And we'll turn and head into the dining area where Ruby is going to take us.
So this is where I eat on my birthday.
Yes, first we're gonna take a look here at this little sitting area. I had recently redone this area. Changed out the chairs. I purchased these chairs from overstock.com. I had been wanting this style of chairs for quite some time, and I absolutely love them. They're reclining chairs. They're very comfortable. I also got the rug from Overstock, or I'm sorry, the rug is from Amazon. And I really like it as well as the throw is from Amazon. And that's one of those pillow covers that I told you about. The lantern came from Hobby Lobby years and years ago, and I just made a bow. And I'm not sure if the ribbon, I think it may have come from Hobby Lobby, and just made that and stuck on top with some of the pit berries and stuck some little pumpkins in the pit berries. The table my grandfather made years and years ago, so it's very sentimental. And I love pictures, so I have lots of pictures throughout the house of my babies. And so now, as Ruby was telling us about the table.
Yeah, and this is where we eat on all
this
our birthdays.
Yes, this is made by my sister-in-law's father.
And
very heavy.
Candles. We have these all candles. Mommy loves candles.
Yes, I love candles. And so this year I wanted to do something a little bit different. And so I found this garland, this magnolia garland, and used that and just stuck some pumpkins, intertwined those, and a little bit of fall foliage in that. And I had this urn here that I had thrifted and just stuck a pumpkin on top there and some thrifted candlesticks. And I think it turned out beautifully. I just love that. And my chandelier is thrifted from several years ago. And then we'll come over to the pie safe. This picture I thrifted several years ago. And it's one of my favorites. And it's one you see quite a bit. Lots of thrifted items here. Some old books. Candle from the Dollar General. I think I need to trim my wick down there. The old pie safe I purchased and repainted a couple years back. And it's one of my favorite items as well. This buffet was, before we did our addition, was our TV stand. And so after we did our addition, it became the buffet. And so it was made by the same gentleman that made the table. And Ruby wants to share her craft that she did.
So I made this pumpkin and I colored it. That it's the way it's supposed to be. And here's the table. And I have a pumpkin pie and fruit. And we have corn, apple, blackberries, and a turkey. And here's my colorful table. And I colored the legs brown and black. So let me put these back up. And you can see it all over again.
You did a great job. She's got her people all colored.
Yeah. Look at my table.
You did good.
And here, these two are a boy and these two are a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a rainbow table, you see. And I did, look at me, whole family.
Good
I
job.
colored this all.
You did good. Good job. Okay. This lamp here came from the recycling center. I paid about $3 for it, and my father rewired it for me, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. This was my Christmas present last year, record player, and I absolutely love it as well. Some items here. Some pumpkins. One of my little plants. I just used a dish towel I had purchased, and I bought that at a thrift store, and I believe it was handmade. So here's a thrifted soup pot. That's a pumpkin, and I stuck it down in my lantern thing there that I'd purchased. Okay, I just have an old butter churn there to the right. So here we're going to take a look at my old piano. I had purchased it from a family friend, and I repainted it, and I just love it. It's very sentimental. She meant a lot to me. She was my Sunday school teacher and my choir director, and just spent a lot of time with her. So brings back lots of memories. The sign here I purchased from a store in Huntsville called Koger Surplus, and they always have some great finds. Just some old cameras there. Another family picture. An old desk that I repainted. A cheese box that my mother had given me with some velvet pumpkins. Some thrifted owls. Here I had went ahead and cut my hydrangeas. It's getting cold, so I went ahead and cut some to dry out. And I have several, 3 different types of hydrangeas here. I'm hoping to plant some limelight hydrangeas this next year. Here we have our wood stove that we use that helps heat the home as well. And it was part of our original home. Here is my hutch that I purchased off Facebook Marketplace and repainted. And my gate that I purchased from a neighbor that I love. And I just love to decorate that for the seasons. My pumpkins that my mother sewed for me. She did a great job. Some thrifted dishes and a little mini lantern that I love to collect. Some salt and pepper shakers from Hobby Lobby. Some cups from Hobby Lobby. And I can't remember, I think that came from like a craft store. And this I had thrifted, and it's one of my favorites, just a pumpkin pie plate and some thrifted old utensils here. And this we had received when we got married, and so I've just kept that over the years, and I like to decorate with it. But I love to decorate the hutch. It's really fun to decorate for the different seasons. Now we're gonna go into the breakfast area. I have my little mannequin with her fall apron on. This fall sign did come from Hobby Lobby this year. I had been looking at it for the last year, I know, if not for the last couple years, and so I finally did end up purchasing it this year for half off. I have several thrifted items here. I have my rolling pin collection with some fall sprigs there. Hand towel from the Dollar General. And I just have it stuck into a thrifted pitcher, antique pitcher. I have a scale with some antique potato mashers. A little tin that my son's girlfriend got us for Christmas. I have some pumpkin picks stuck down in there. Some spice box and a tin there that my mother had thrifted for me. A Coca-Cola crate. My husband's family owned a store on the square in Kingston, and so that has some sentimental value there. And this little hutch came from his cousin's wife. She had given it to me and I repainted that. My scale I purchased off of Amazon several years ago, and I just stuck some greenery and some pumpkin picks in it. My other gourd from Lane's Aunt Annie I had scrubbed and stained. My old picnic baskets with my old thermos I thrifted. And our breakfast table. And this is another one of the church pews. And our neighbor, Bobby Welsh, was very kind and made it into a corner bench for us, and he did an excellent job. So thankful for that. And if you saw, I did a tier tray decorate with me a week or so ago. And I just have a shelf over my door here that my husband put up. Lots of antique thrifted items there. And that'll take us into the kitchen. And we have finally replaced the light. The main light here had been out for quite some time, and so we finally got that replaced. Lane's dad came up and helped him to do that. So I have an arrangement here on this cutting board. And I believe the cutting board came from Hobby Lobby last year, maybe, with some thrifted items. I love using copper items, especially during the fall time. I think it really just warms things up. My mother came up and she helped to do this arrangement here. She does a great job putting arrangements together, and so anytime I have trouble, I just holler at Mom and she comes up and helps do that. We just have our eggs from our chickens there. Come around to that cabinet there. First, I'll show you on top of the refrigerator. Just a couple things. A little copper canister there with some fall foliage in it. An antique old lamp that was converted into a lamp. I don't have it turned on. It's quite bright and you really can't see anything when it's turned on, so I didn't turn that on. A picture, and I believe that Thankful and Blessed is from the Dollar General or the Dollar Tree, one of the two. And Ruby always wants to keep this right on the front. She made that in art, and she was caught being a good friend, so she likes to keep that up in the front and center there. Some more copper kettles there that I've thrifted. Another tray from Avery's girlfriend Brooke for Christmas. Last year or the year before, I can't remember. Bread box, friend had done, I'd purchased from her a couple years back, several years back now actually. Loving my farmhouse sink still. If you missed it last year, I did kind of a kitchen remake reveal for that. This pumpkin spice hand soap came from the Cracker Barrel this year. It's a nice big jar. I can reuse that, and the soap smells wonderful. I just put a little spray in there with a pumpkin. I like to use my old grater there to put just seasonal sprigs in and use it to hold a hand towel. And here I have my chickens, rooster and a chicken. And I just took a garland and wound it up and set it on top and put a pumpkin on top of that. These old jars here, mason jars, were my grandfather's, and I just put some candies, some seasonal candies in them, make them nice and colorful, decorative, and they will be eaten as well. So the rugs I have here, they came from the Dollar General. I was in need of some new rugs and hadn't really been anywhere to get anything, so I definitely found those there in a pinch. Got some hand towels here from the Dollar General. Kind of a theme going on there if you haven't noticed. We have a new Dollar General. It's not new now, but it's been there a couple of years in Marble, and it's very handy. Just a fall wreath there. I believe it came from Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. The very last of our garden, which was terrible this year. I had a horrible garden this year. I hope everyone else had a better luck with their garden this year than I did. I just have my cutting boards here. Rolling pin my mother-in-law gave me. That's very heavy marble. Has a little stand there. My candle I just stuck down in a copper little holder there. KitchenAid mixer, I just stuck a hand towel in with some fall leaf lights. My recipe box, and this is an old sifter. I just stuck in some fall leaves and a little scarecrow. On my pantry doors, I found some, you can hear washer and dryer go in there, sorry, fall wreaths. I just changed those out. I usually have some cotton wreaths hanging there. I wanted to show, this is the wall my husband built for me to hang my cast iron on that I absolutely love, and he did a great job, and I love that. So let's do another kind of once over here. And we have to have all of Ruby's papers on the refrigerator. She loves school. She loves to do coloring and work. And I'll give you one more look at the breakfast area here. And that will be it. We hope you enjoyed our fall home tour for this year. If you did, please like
and subscribe.
God bless.